What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rush Mike. Um, I think this is my first video in 2, maybe 3 days. I'd have to check back, but at least 2. It's been at least 48 hours. Um, this is the first time to my knowledge, that I have not been outside of my place of residence for more than 48 hours. It's like I keep trying to come up with rationalizations for leaving, but then I got to remind myself, you got to keep your excursions to a minimum, only to what's absolute necessary. But you know what is absolutely necessary for me right now? Alcohol. Beer, preferably. Uh, Maybe liquor, although I probably should not. I should probably cut back on liquor, but yeah. So I might have a bit of a drinking problem. I mean, a few years ago, like early to mid 20s, it was my drinking problem was pretty bad. There was a time in my life when I literally could not go out in public without getting drunk. Um, Rarely a day passed um, when I did not have a drink. And in recent years, now that I've learned a little bit more about my mental health and how my drinking comes into play with that, I've been able to control my drinking a little bit. So I can sometimes go for a week at a time without drinking. But if such a time passes that I end up totally losing my shit, like the current situation that's going on now, I'm gonna really, really crave some booze, and that's kind of what's going on now. I'm gonna be responsible about it. I'm not gonna get totally off my ass drunk, although since I'm all alone and there's nobody that's really gonna be affected by that, it's whatever. Definitely not gonna drive while drunk, that's for sure. Yeah, that, and I want to get some takeout food. Um, Maybe Indian food, maybe Chinese food, uh, maybe pizza. I don't know. I can't spend too much money right now. Um, so today, Thursday, March 26th, was supposed to be Major League Baseball's opening day. And that sure shit ain't happening. So I'm pretty disappointed about that. I'm always anticipating the start of baseball season, as you can probably tell. There's a lot of the old baseball games that have been streaming on various platforms. I'm basically able to stream every single game from the past 2 seasons on MLB.tv. You can too. I think it's like a 30-day offer. Get all of them free. Old games, MLB Vault YouTube channel. Link to that in the description box. Yeah. My slow pitch softball league is put off until further notice. Little League, I've heard, is not holding anything until May 11th. Let's hope that date is not pushed back any further. Let's hope Major League Baseball season doesn't go any further than that. May 11th. May 11th. So that's our target date. If we have baseball on May 11th, I'll be a happy man. Also, March 26th was the day I was supposed to go to St. Louis for Pokemon Go Safari Zone, and that's not happening. I'm pretty depressed about that, not just because I missed out on the opportunity, but because it's kind of been my life goal to A, visit every state in the United States, and B, visit every major league ballpark. Never been to the state of Missouri, never been to Busch Stadium, but I'll make every attempt to go there in the future. heard a lot of great things about St. Louis. Also heard some bad things, like it's really violent and stuff, but, I've been to Baltimore and Chicago and a lot of those cities. I'm not... and I used to live in D.C., so I'm not too worried about that. I'm expecting good things from St. Louis. If I ever go. When I go. Whatever. Yeah, what else? So things are kind of going along in the NFL season. The biggest news being that Tom Brady is going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the Patriots are not going to piss me off week after week anymore. So that's pretty cool. The Buccaneers might actually be good. Got a decent quarterback. I'm not going to say he's a good quarterback because Brady's about 40 now, and there's a good chance he's going to decline from here on out. But he's got some good weapons, some good receivers. So they might be a playoff team. I would not be surprised if the Buccaneers make the playoffs. Todd Gurley. I'm forgetting what team Todd Gurley got picked up by, but the Rams cut him. The Panthers also cut Cam Newton. No idea where he's going to go, but then that's a shame because I really admired what Cam Newton could do on the field, but I could not stand that guy's attitude. And if the guy was a locker room cancer, I would not be surprised. Sort of the same deal with Dwight Howard and a few other of those guys that, they're extremely athletically gifted, but they're the worst teammates. So, let's see, the NFL draft is going to be in April. I believe April 10th, is it? Somewhere around that time. And they're just going to do it in New York at the NFL headquarters. So, let's see how that goes. Joe Burrow's going number 1. Chase Young's going number 2. That much we know. I don't know if Miami did trade up, but there's if they haven't, they're probably going to trade up for the 3 spot to get Tua. Yeah. Enough sports talk for now. I haven't even started my ignition. So, the inevitable topic of the coronavirus. It is absolutely hitting critical mass in New York. I'm worried about that because I have a lot of family and friends in New York City. Oh, there's my neighbor. He's out there working hard as he always does, putting me to shame. Hope y'all have gotten in some good movie watching time now that everybody's stuck at home. I just got done watching The Great Escape. I'm a huge fan of Steve McQueen. Great Escape, Magnificent Seven, Bullets. I could watch an entire marathon of Steve McQueen movies, and I probably will if I'm trapped home any longer. A bunch of people recommending different TV suggestions on Netflix and whatnot. I don't know. The thing about Netflix and all those streaming, their original content, I don't find it to be that original. I find it to be pretty derivative. There's nothing new under the sun. But I haven't really gotten to a show yet in one of those streaming services that I've really been invested in. I guess the closest would be Trailer Park Boys, but that did not start out on Netflix. It started out on some Canadian cable channel. Yeah, if you've had any shows to recommend to me, though, on any sort of platform, be it streaming, cable, whatever, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll watch the first episode and the first 2 episodes and give you a review of the show from there. I can't promise I'll continue watching it, but I'm willing to give anything a try at least once. So I gotta drop something off. This video will be recording for, I don't know, 30 seconds without me, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I may have to edit out the time I was out of my car, though it didn't seem to be that long. Okay, what else to talk about? You know, that's the worst thing about starting a YouTube channel during a pandemic and a national lockdown, is you run out of things to talk about. Except for the stuff you have access to, like food and movies, and the crushing disappointment that is not having any live sports to watch, and booze. I like talking about booze a lot. If you have a favorite alcoholic drink, let me know in the comments section below. For me, you know, beer is usually my drink of choice. I really like lagers. Yingling is often my go-to, but I really like those European lagers. I love Carlsberg, Tuborg, Heineken, Stella Artois, some of the stronger Belgian stuff. Not a big fan of craft beers, not a big fan of IPAs. IPAs just have this weird taste to me that I really don't like. Ales. I love English ales, Bass Ale, Newcastle. And as far as hard liquor, I love Scotch whiskey. Scotch whiskey and Irish whiskey. Single malt whiskey, Glenfiddich, Glenmorangie, Laffrey, Lagavulin, Ardbeg, and all those. I say the harder it is to spell and or pronounce, the better it is. But also some good American stuff. Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, I'll drink that. Hell, I'll even drink Bacardi if I'm desperate. Not a huge fan of tequila. Don't hate it, but I just like other liquors better. Wine. Don't love wine. I'll definitely drink it if there's an occasion that calls for wine and like not any other kind of alcoholic drink, like a wedding or a Passover Seder or some other formal event. I don't know. But all things being equal, gotta say beer is my favorite. And I think that's what I'm getting at the grocery store that I'm about to drive to, is beer. One of those big quart bottles of beer, not the malt liquor shit. It's terrible. Like, a lot of the mainstream beers, Corona, Heineken, Bud Light, and whatnot, they sell those big ass bottles. Could be 22 ounces, 32 ounces, even 40. Because just 1 or 2 bottles is not enough for me. I could drink a 6-pack, but that's too much liquid. And I get a full belly. I don't get sick, but I just get a full belly. I mean, try drinking 3 or 6 glasses of water at one time. You'd probably get a full belly too. And there's not even any alcohol in that. All right, I guess this is the end of the road, literally. Hope everybody's doing well. Let me know in the comments section how you're managing to cope during the national or international lockdown. I know a lot of countries are doing the same thing as the United States, so if you're watching this from a country other than the United States or Canada, let me know how it's all affected your country. I'd really be interested to know. All right, take care, y'all.